Yeah. You should probably take your microphone a little bit closer.
Should be like something like, tonight on Dawn of Discussion, we'll Ron find true love. Will Guy find out who's... We'll do that. Yeah,
Okay.
That will be it.
Besides the fact that we've kind of done it already. But, you know, there's...
Well, it's
we
like...
still haven't.
If we do catch-up episodes, we'll do something like that.
That's true.
Right. Alright, ready? Market camera A. Camera B.
I appreciate that. Also, I just realized the mics are rigged backwards, but I can fix it in post.
Or, you know, boom.
That's not... What? No, that's not how it works.
Yeah. Alright, so, tonight on Dawn of Discussion, last time, Guy, Bert, and Wiley had found out his father was murdered. The culprit himself. And Ron, as it turned out, was a cyborg. And he's looking for his master.
What?
I don't know.
Where are you, master?
Did I really do it? Cue intro.
Dawn of Discussion.
Wait, did you say you murdered your own father?
Apparently,
Oh,
I don't even
jeez.
remember.
Oh god, okay, well...
The culprit himself. That's the beginning to a bad soap opera. A bad Spanish soap opera. Or Days of Our Lives. Remember that from Friends?
I remember that, yeah.
Remember when Joey was like,
Yeah.
today I'm giving birth to twins, or he's whatever it was,
Yeah.
but only one of them is mine. I was like, that's literally not how twins work,
No.
but okay.
I like the one as well where like they killed him off and he was like, I'm gonna step in this elevator now.
Do you want to come with me?
Are you sure you don't want to come with me?
I love you, Drake. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I love the look he gives, like, oh, fuck all of you. Anyway, so sorry. Back on topic.
Welcome to Dawn of Discussion, where our intros just go on longer than the episode. Usually.
Sorry, word backtrack. So I've been watching Stranger Things with my mother,
Exactly.
and weirdly enough, the intros to Stranger Things before like the opening credit where it's like Winona Ryder and so on, then the Stranger Things logo comes up. It lasts about 10 minutes on average each episode. I was like, yeah, it does actually take a long time to get into an
Really?
episode. Yeah.
That's well, actually,
10, 8
considering that the
minutes.
episode is
About
isn't
40,
about an hour.
40 to 50 minutes long.
Yeah, I think season 2 was like an hour each.
No, they were all under an hour. They're not Game of Thrones level yet.
That's true.
Yeah. Season 3 though.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of season 3, that's out pretty soon.
Yeah. July 4th.
Was it next month? Or this month?
July 4th.
July 4th, there you go.
Because it's American. And
Oh, of course, yeah,
4th
no,
of
it's
July.
all part of it, obviously. I mean, why would you release something on a day that's not an
To
American
be fair,
holiday?
the trailer puts it as like, this is the big American summer stuff. It's like July 4th. It kind of makes sense for it. So I was like, yeah, okay.
Fair enough.
I was like, Trump's in the UK. That's been fun.
I mean,
No.
you want to
No.
get political about this?
No. Oh,
What I
God,
will say though
he's-
is, apparently it's the Queen's birthday tomorrow, as of the day of filming. That's great.
Yeah. So, what else is... So I think we have to talk about the elephant in the room for DC.
Oh yeah.
About who's supposed to be the next...
Yes, so we kind of didn't talk about it last week because we were both out of the country, but
Yeah.
we do fully realize so.
So, here's the weird thing I'm going to say.
I'd probably agree, but go on.
I'm not 100% on board with the idea, but I'm not judging yet.
Agree.
Because if we put... When all the fans are going, oh, this is horrible, blah, 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 blah. Didn't we all say this about Heath Ledger's Joker? And what happened? Oh, right, that's right, everyone was proven wrong. Didn't we all say this about Ben Affleck's Batman and Dawn of Justice, which was probably the only reasonable part of that film?
You know, I
And
never really
wrong.
judged that decision, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't either, I was...
I mean, we've all seen Daredevil.
Yeah.
He was practically Batman in that. He was playing the wrong character. So, you know...
That was his audition tape
Exactly.
for Batman.
It basically was. And it wasn't even that bad of one.
So plot twist: Batman versus
Batman's blind.
Superman: Dawn of Justice is the
Batman is
the
blind as a
sequel to
bat.
Daredevil. The sequel to Daredevil.
My God.
He regains his sight and becomes Batman.
See, I was gonna make the joke that Ben Affleck, is just blind as a bat
It's because he's...
because bats are blind, and so is Daredevil. Bam! What a connection.
Anyway.
Also a vampire, now apparently. I mean, well, with Robert Pattinson and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, most people know him as that guy in Harry Potter 4.
I think that's the
which
thing.
died.
It's the point where I would just say to DC board was like, look, I'm 100% bored with all this stuff, but the problem is you're casting someone who literally most fanboys hate because he played that one guy in Twilight.
Yeah, but
Marketing,
I feel like...
you're gonna have a tough time with because no fan is gonna picture this. I'm not.
That's the problem with fans, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing: I'm okay with them doing it. I still can't picture him as Batman because I just think
I
of
can picture
Twilight.
him as Bruce Wayne.
Actually, no. Yeah, I can agree with that.
The thing is, because when we think about him, we do think about him in his role in Twilight, and in it he is very, very pale. But that's obviously makeup. But we don't know what he looks like without said makeup. Yeah. So I feel like if he isn't so pale, if he's like a more normal human skin tone, it might kind of become a little bit more normal-ish.
I thought of something. I should get Kristen Bell to play Catwoman. Wait,
I'm not against
Kristen Stewart. Sorry, Kristen Stewart.
Oh God, no.
Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Bell, I'm okay with. Kristen Stewart, no. Hey, Batman.
Just imagine.
Hey, Batman, do you want to stop me or whatever? I don't know.
You're him. You're the Batman.
Oh,
Say it.
I
cannot not
see
picture
that. I will
it
doubt. That I will doubt.
No.
Very heavily.
I'll be interested to see if they do go through with it, who they'd have be the villain. Whether they would keep Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke or whether they'd get someone different.
I wouldn't mind
And whether
that.
it's even part of the DC Cinematic Universe, I'm not entirely sure it would be.
No, I think it was.
Okay.
It's just a prequel to everything, but it's just still a weird thing to do.
Yeah. Honestly, here's the weird thing. I was thinking to myself, I think fans would actually be more on board with the idea if they said, okay, he's playing Dick Grayson who becomes Batman. I think fans would be more on board with that. Because I think the thing is, he'd probably be better Nightwing than Batman. Weirdly. I think he's got more of the face for it for some reason.
That's true, but to be fair, I still don't think anyone would ever still do a Batman film that actually has Robin in it in any way or another.
Well, it wouldn't be Robin, it'd be Nightwing who becomes Batman.
Sure, but
I kind of get your point.
It's mostly because like, the funniest thing is like I read this article recently about Christian Bale basically saying that if he finds out that Robin is in any of the Dark Knight films, he would just not go be Batman ever again. So I feel like Christopher Nolan somehow tricked him.
He did, literally, because Robin was in the he didn't know what that guy's middle name was until he saw the screening.
That's true.
Because he wasn't in that scene. He was like, and then you must admit, it's just like in the screen, it's like, Christian Bale going, what the fuck?
Nolan! Oh, that's why he's not.
That's why he doesn't talk to Nolan.
Yeah, that's why he's in none of his films anymore. Also because he would be horribly miscast, but also because he doesn't like Christopher Nolan anymore. Because he tricked. It was literally like, all right, that's a wrap for Christian Bale. Very nice. Now it's time to go back to the writing table.
All right, and then he's
write
gone.
the last scene now.
He's like, and then waiting. Is he gone? He's gone. Okay, good. Now we film the scene with Robin.
Yeah. All right, Joseph. Let's film this scene
real
quick.
Let's get up there.
Also, don't tell Chris about this.
Yeah.
He must not know about this.
Yeah, Christian will look a shit if he finds out.
Yeah, we don't want that. We'll wait to tell him until the screening, and then we'll tell him after the screening.
I will say, even though they obviously got Dick Grayson wrong in Titans, I feel like he is kind of helping the public image of Robin. In terms of just people who aren't fans will probably look and go, oh, so he's not just some little shit who wears spandex or tights like in the 1960s, and he's not the guy from Batman and Robin. With the Robin nips.
Yeah.
Which, interestingly, when I rewatched Batman and Robin, because fuck it, it's a fun film to watch and
just
laugh at, I realized that his costume looks more like the Nightwing costume.
It does.
I did not.
Which makes sense, because...
Yeah, because I guess it's like some years, but he is wearing a cape,
also... Well, was it Dick Grayson?
It was Dick Grayson.
Huh.
The fuck up part was when they had Barbara Gordon introduced. It's like, oh, this is Alfred Pennyworth's niece. And I was like, fuck no! So what?
It sure is.
Her name... Her last name just happens to be the same as Commissioner Gordon. What the fuck?
By the way, so what was her original connection? Because she wasn't originally his daughter, was she? I don't think it was.
Barbara Gordon?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she was.
Always?
Yeah, I think so.
For some reason, I thought it wasn't. I thought they changed that at some point, but I don't know why.
No, I think she'd always been the Commissioner's daughter.
Was she named after someone?
Possibly. I don't know. But also actually, this is a film I'm interested in seeing. Brightburn.
Yes, I really do want to see that.
I think it'll be.
You know what's funny is I've been talking about it with a couple of people, and all of them are saying I don't want to see that. Why not? Because I don't want to see a horror film about this kind of thing. And I'm like, it's literally Superman being evil.
And they're like, yeah, we like shitting on him because he's not cool. This film is proving us wrong.
Basically, I mean that's what it's basically coming down to.
Like that's the thing, because I watched I assume you know Jeremy Jones, who's a YouTuber who does like reviews and everything. He did a review of it. It's like, guys, it's basically just like Injustice, but when he's 13, and you know, we all love that version of Superman, even though it's not really Superman, but still. But I thought, if you don't like Superman, this is the perfect film to make people watch, because they're gonna go, oh, that's so cool. It's like, okay, that's your version of Superman then. Yeah. Now once again, let's go with the what if that person becomes real.
Yeah.
You still like that one more than the original? You sure?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I think it will probably give a good idea of like how much weight like Superman carries and how much effort he has to do to not break. And also it's James Gunn, so you know, whatever.
Yeah.
While producing it and writing it, but I think so, directed by someone else.
Yeah, I think it was directed by someone else. But
still,
what was interesting is the Jeremy was, what was he saying? He was like I forgot what he was saying in the review. It was basically like that, you know, it shows the more realistic version. It's like, oh yeah, sure, two human people couldn't keep Clark Kent on this kind of, you know, path. It's like, yes they could if they're really good people and they teach him well. It's that whole mother it's nature versus nurture kind of attitude.
Well, yeah.
And it's clear these guys aren't just like, just from the trailers alone, you get the sense that they're both the thing is about this, making the distinction from the trailer, is like, in the comics, Jonathan and Martha both equally play a big part to how Clark turns up. In this film, it looks like it's pitting just the mother figure, which is obviously not Superman, because in Superman, it is mainly the both of them, and it is Jonathan Kent's death that forces Superman to become a hero. In this one, it's like, the father figure seems a bit useless.
It's worth saying that's the case in Man of Steel, but like pretty much in any other canon of Superman, Jonathan Kent is still alive, basically.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
And except for Smallville as well.
Oh yeah, fair enough.
And the current New 52, where both Martha and Jonathan die at some point, I think during the Darkseid invasion.
Well,
during just remember this way. Usually one of them dies, and I like the angle of the heart attack, because I think for Jonathan Kent, because it's a very human thing for Clark to go through, like his father dying, he literally cannot do anything to save him. It's a very human thing. But anyway, sorry, there are people trying vacuuming.
God damn it.
Clean.
So another thing in DC, obviously we have to talk about it.
I'm so terrified now.
It's a new poster for the new Wonder Woman film. God, what do you think of this beautiful, colorful mess? It's very colorful, by the way.
I think it's not a secret. I don't like Thor Ragnarok.
No, you may have mentioned that.
So now I'm concerned, because I liked Wonder Woman a lot.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Well, it's not that I didn't like Ragnarok, I just didn't enjoy it as much as I really hoped. I still found it funny, but the problem is I found it funny and I didn't like the whole film.
Sure.
Which is the main problem.
I think what I kind of think is I liked Wonder Woman and I liked Aquaman, which is basically like an Aquaman version of Thor Ragnarok, but less colorful and less, well, still colorful, but less space stuff, even though the underwater stuff was quite sci-fi-ish.
Yeah.
So if you just take the tone of one and the story of the other and put them together, I think that could still be really cool.
So what, the tone from Aquaman and the story of
Wonder Woman.
Okay. Yeah, no, that
I think that would be really cool.
Here's the thing: Aquaman wasn't much of a problem for me in terms of how similar it was to Ragnarok, because it didn't go full Ragnarok.
Yeah.
It didn't go the full just comedic route, making jokes in every scene just because they don't want to take themselves seriously. So I was fine with it. Whereas if they go that route with Wonder Woman, once again I'll be fine with it. But if they go the full Ragnarok route for Wonder Woman, then I'll have a major problem, because it's showing DC generally actually can't do anything original anymore, which is just sad and depressing. And
well, we know they make horrible decisions all the time.
Yeah, sure.
The only reason why Aquaman and Shazam are as good as they are is because they tried to kind of go the Marvel route, and they were like, oh, this is working, and then they
did, but Shazam isn't really almost anything like any other Marvel movie except for maybe Spider-Man Homecoming, and even then, it's still Shazam is very much its uniquely owned film because it's an origin. Whereas
I
Homecoming
guess it.
isn't.
I guess it is. I
Yeah.
guess it is. It's like a healthy mix almost between Thor, the first one, and Homecoming.
Yeah.
In
The
a
healthy
way.
mix between the two. Yeah. But either way, to be fair, I did see some
Yeah.
set pictures from Wonder Woman, and the costume she's wearing is very bright in the sense that it's bright red and bright blue. I thought that's good because it's
That's
like
really cool,
it's like the original Wonder Woman costume, and there was like a golden glittery background. I was like, oh, maybe she's like in a club or something, and it's set during the '80s, so that's why I'm not completely put off it immediately. Is like that poster's very '80s to me.
Sure.
It just screams.
Which
like
is
that.
obviously the vibe that they're probably
Yeah,
going
exactly. Considering the film is called Wonder Woman 1984.
What I'm willing to say though, and you guys know we don't like to get political, but I can still, pretty confidently say Wonder Woman is still to this day the very best superhero film about a female superhero.
Oh yeah, without question. Well, sensible. People.
Yeah. With that, it kind of made history as such because it was the first good superhero film about a female superhero.
Female lead, yeah.
That isn't an animation or anything, like live action cinema, like theatrical release, all that.
Because we also had before that we had Elektra and we had Catwoman, which
we don't speak of.
Nope.
And also Supergirl in a very distant past.
Yeah.
But I haven't actually seen that, so I can't really say anything about it.
Yeah, same here.
What I can say is, it proved to us that you can make a film about female superheroes that can be really good, really gripping, as much as a male superhero film.
Yeah.
So if they go kind of the Ragnarok route and they do it well, they can also prove that a woman
can be
superhero film could carry the comedy tone very well.
Yeah, true.
And I think if anyone's going to be able to do it, it's probably going to be her.
I would have said Harley Quinn.
I don't think so. But that's because I started disliking Harley Quinn in media over the years, because it's just too overdone, and for some reason, like, it's basically Harley Quinn for me has the same thing as Batman has. It's a cool character, but at some point it gets so ridiculously overrated that I kind of
that's
lose
true, because I think the
over
problem
time.
is for Harley Quinn, her whole big character angle is the fact that she is abused by the Joker.
Yeah, and that doesn't really happen anymore.
And that doesn't happen anymore, and I remember reading some of the most recent Harley Quinn comics, and it's beginning to lose its edge.
Yeah.
Because they're pushing her into a full-on superhero route, which for me doesn't work.
No, because she's not a superhero.
No. And even as a anti-hero, her as an anti-hero I could kind of understand, but it's more that if it's a very personal reason for her doing it.
Yeah.
And even then it has to include the Joker somehow.
Yeah. Like, I don't think Harley Quinn would ever be able to carry her own film.
Yeah.
She is either in a Joker film or in a Batman film, obviously.
Or Birds of Prey film.
Yeah, or Suicide Squid.
Yeah.
Then again, I say Suicide Squid. You know what I mean. But like, Birds of Prey, we've only seen a really short teaser that really didn't say much.
It wasn't really a teaser. It was like, hey, here are the actors, and they're in their costumes. Yeah. And that was pretty much it, let's be honest.
The thing is, I'm still kind of worried about that film. Cause
I'm horrified about it.
Because I don't want another, like, Ocean's 8 or Ghostbusters 2016 or something like that, where it's like, they're gonna be all women and they're gonna kick ass and you're gonna like it, because if you don't, you're a misogynist. I don't want to have that. I want to see a film that's genuinely not trying to push that idea too much and genuinely just tries to entertain and nothing else.
I agree. I think in the defense of it though, the culprits of this have been 20th Century Fox, Universal, Disney. DC gave us Wonder Woman. And at no point did they ever really say, if you don't like the Wonder Woman film, you're a misogynist.
No, exactly.
So I have more faith in it in that regard
than
Captain Marvel. Because it's like, oh, if you don't like Captain Marvel, you're sexist. So if you don't like you don't like Rey, you're sexist. It's like...
Or you just have
Or
an
you
opinion.
understand bad writing when you see it.
That also.
I mean, seriously?
Yeah, it's just... obviously, it kind of bums you out when people have, like, an opinion like that. But, like, ultimately, it's like, films are... They're meant to... they're entertained. They're not meant to convey a political message. And that's actually... Just before we started this recording, actually, I showed you a clip from the new X-Men film, didn't I?
Yeah.
We haven't actually seen it yet because it's only been out for like a couple of days now.
I want to be
I
honest.
honestly, I wasn't very thrilled about the film to begin with because I didn't like the trailer that much and I didn't like Apocalypse, so I was already kind of put off. This clip was the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah,
Where I'm like, I don't want to go watch it.
I completely agree.
Someone at work even told me, because I have the Odeon Limitless pass, he said it doesn't even cost you money to go see it, and I'm like, I realize this, but it does cost me time that I could spend on watching something else.
That's the other thing people forget. Time is as important as the currency. Remember that weird Justin Timberlake film about time?
Oh yeah, I actually weirdly enough loved that film.
I actually do as well because I thought it's such a cool concept.
Yeah, exactly.
That it's about time now and people die if they lose their like it's a cool thing.
It was really cool, and they they could have done more with it, but for what they did with it was actually pretty fucking hilarious.
Cool. I feel like it's a TV show that would actually be really cool.
I'd watch that.
I would. Anyway, back on point.
Yeah. So basically, the clip.
Sorry, think about back to Wonder Woman as well.
Oh sure, yeah. And
it did convey like a bit. Well, it's in the same tangent. It did convey a political message as well, but it wasn't like in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more relaxed about like saying, guys, this is about equality. But even Wonder Woman realizes men have done bad shit, but they're not all evil. And that was the big point where it's
that's exactly what's so great about it, is because it was finally like, we're not generalizing, we're just saying there's a lot of bad men out there, and we're like, we cannot argue with that. That is a fact.
Yeah, I think because it's a good thing that it was also set during either the First or Second World War. You really couldn't go wrong with, because the fact that she was forced in a position to say, oh, look at all this horror, men are terrible, and then basically see the soldiers doing what they do, like Steve Trevor does, the heroic sacrifice they all make.
Exactly.
For the greater good in their own mind. And then her realizing, holy fuck, if they're all willing to do that kind of thing, they can't all be bad.
You know you know what would be funny? Because that's kind of the direction that I almost feel like they're going in with 1984, is that they would be the same message but about women, because she's fighting Cheetah and all that. And it's like, it could almost be like, a lot of women are good, not these ones. Yeah,
well, to be fair, they did almost kind of end on that message, and to be fair, I guess that makes sense if they carry it over. The fact that Ares is like, see what they're capable of, they're all evil, and then she's like, no, they're not. And then at the very start, I imagine she would meet, who's the actress playing Cheetah again? It's
Kristen Wiig.
Kristen Wiig. I thought it was another. So many Kristens, like Chris's.
It's like
Kristen is
name,
the
man.
Chris for females.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah. And then she's like, "Oh, men are terrible," and she's like, "Women are perfect. We've never done anything wrong, like, right, Wonder Woman? We've all been good." It's like, yeah, that's true. And then afterwards, and maybe in the very end, she's like, "My mother's a horrible person. Holy shit! She brainwashed me into thinking women are perfect. And I come to this world and we're not."
Wait, there were other wars before this?
What?
Where was I? Playing in the garden. What?
And she's
what?
Like, and you know, I really want that scene one day where it's like, the Amazons are perfect, we've never done anything wrong. You do realize pretending the world doesn't exist and letting it tear itself apart is not a good thing, right?
If you can do something about it.
Yeah, if you...
Which you very well can.
Yeah, and I think that's always been the argument from Superman. It's like, if you can try to make the world a better place, you should. That's always been his kind of point, and hence why I think, well, he's not the leader of the Justice League, he's kind of the guy everyone looks up to in that regard. But
exactly.
Back onto the whole... We should probably stop talking about the whole political messages and everything before everyone else starts hating us again.
Yeah, so let's
I think we made our point, as per usual. It's like, guys, it's about entertainment, and it's good to get these messages in, but don't make it a major point.
Yeah.
And don't have actresses that already most people think are overrated, or most men don't like beyond the fact that they think perhaps she's attractive. Yeah. And just... don't have unlikable characters making these kind of messages like Captain Marvel or Mystique, because your whole message falls flat on its face. And you see, when Wonder Woman says it, you go, you know what, I think she's right. When Captain Marvel says it, you go, what a fucking cunt.
Basically,
yeah.
But yeah, let's...
have you seen the trailer for Terminator?
I have. We'll go to a break, and then we'll talk about other trailers that we've missed, because there's actually quite a few. Not just Terminator, like... Oh... We'll be right back.
Alright.
We're back.
We're back, yeah. Sorry. I like crisps. Oh.
There was a fly there. Don't worry about it.
And sync.
Yeah, basically.
Alright.
Don't know if it was, because I'm not very good at three-dimensional watching. Anyways, let us steer away from political stuff, because we steered right into that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about less political stuff. So you mentioned the trailer for Terminator. I actually watched it. I didn't watch it right away, funny enough, because I actually I talked about it with a couple of people from work, and they both didn't like it, so I didn't see any need to see the trailer, because they're like, they're fans of the franchise for years and years, well before me. So I was like, nah. And one of them said, no, you have to watch it because it's really bad. So I watched it. Honestly, it doesn't look that awful. It just doesn't look like a Terminator film.
No, yeah, I'm thinking.
I don't know what it looks like.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I want to see it.
It kind of reminds me of Looper. In terms
Maybe,
of the way in terms of the way it looked and the grittiness to it, it felt like Looper. I don't know why.
Maybe a little bit, but like, even Looper seemed to be, about something.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like I know it's supposed to be like the last Terminator film. It probably won't be. It's just like, probably going to be the last.
Didn't they
Terminator
say
film.
that about Terminator Salvation? Didn't they say that about Terminator Genesis?
No, they didn't say that about Genesis for sure. But I think this is definitely going to be the last Terminator film with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I think they did say it was supposed to be the last Terminator film, and then it did so badly that James Cameron went, "No, I'm coming back and I'm fixing everything."
Yeah, this is the problem. James Cameron has lost his touch completely.
No, he wasn't even part of the last two.
He was producing, wasn't he?
No.
Let me fact check myself real quick. Because
is he meant to be directing this current one coming out? Because I remember because that was basically what I heard, that he saw Terminator Genesis and how badly received it was, and said, "Well, I'm going to take over now."
I'll tell you in a few seconds. Where is his filmography? Here we go. Yeah, he didn't.
He may have had something
So-
to do with Salvation, but not Genesis, I think.
No, it was completely unrelated. But he's not directing Terminator either, is he?
No, I think he's just producing it this time.
Well,
But that means I think he's having a hand basically in the story.
I mean, yeah, that works, I guess.
Okay.
Last film he actually directed was Avatar.
I'm not surprised. He's been directing the sequels like for 3 years now.
Yeah, sure. He did write the story to Terminator. Not the full script, but the story at least. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not particularly excited, to be honest, because Genesis was odd.
Genesis was...
I didn't like the whole John Connor twist.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
was
like
a bit.
it either.
It was a bit dumb.
It felt a bit forced, yeah.
But yeah. But so Terminator is a thing. Also, Rambo.
What is it with these franchises just not dying?
Well, it's more that the actors aren't dead,
Yeah, that's true.
so they don't really want. To be fair, as far as those franchises go, I think Last Blood is supposed to be the very last Rambo film, because
Because of all the nostalgia and like it makes 500 or 600 or 700 million dollars at the box office, and they're like, well, we can make 5 more now.
well, let's put it this way, it's the last one with Stallone in it.
Okay.
Much like Terminator is supposed to be the last film with Schwarzenegger in it. Just like Die Hard 6 eventually will be the last one that Bruce Willis is in. They just want to finish it off in a wholesome way. What the Die Hard is slightly different though, because what Bruce Willis did say is that he will be producing the TV show reboot thing, because they did that with Lethal Weapon as well, where they made the films and then they did like a reboot TV show thing. So Bruce Willis said that that's exactly what they're going to do for.
They're going to do one with like Die Hard though. It doesn't.
Well, they could do it about his cop days, you know.
Okay.
But no one really wants to see that, because he only became interesting after he quit as a cop.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say the one thing that bothered me about the Rambo trailer is basically like, I will have my revenge. It's like, about what?
Well,
They're the only person in this trailer, Stallone. There's literally no one else in this thing.
To be fair, they keep roping him into these wars he doesn't want to fight. So he does have like plenty of reason to be angry.
Yeah, but you don't even know who he's fighting. You can't tell. Is it the cartel?
system.
Is it the government?
He's fighting the system.
I'm fighting the system.
You lose.
How?
They just drop a drone on you.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's the 21st century, Stallone. You can't beat the system anymore with
Not
the ways
with
you're
bows and arrows.
Not with a bow and arrow or an old-fashioned trap.
Yeah. To be fair, it had a weird like Home Alone vibe.
Actually, I've always wanted them.
Rambo, Home Stallone.
I always wanted Home Stallone. I always wanted them to do an R-rated.
Get out of here, you filthy animal.
We know that you're in there and that you're all alone.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah. By the way, Stallone, if you're watching this, we're writing this. Just so you know.
But like I'm saying, I've always wanted to see an R-rated Home Alone movie because I
Yeah.
just think it would be, and I want it to be done as a horror film for the guys trying to break into the house because I just think it would be so funny. Then basically like, where is he? And then they just go, and then there's the kid there with like a match saying,
Yeah.
"Hi." Ah!
Well, that could be.
I'm not trapped in here with you. You're locked in here with me. That would be the line of the film.
Oh God. Home Stallone with Rorschach.
But like 10-year-old Rorschach, so it's still a Home Alone film.
Literally just a kid with like a mask on and a really sharp knife.
And the mask is of Sylvester Stallone.
Hey kid, you don't want to run around with that knife like that. You're gonna get hurt. I'm gonna hurt you. Oh no, he cut my balls off. I'm gonna do so much worse to you. Get out of my house.
Oh my God, that has to be a thing now.
Why, you little twerp, I'm gonna rob you blind. I'm gonna rob you blind of your eyes. Oh no, he got my eyes. Because you know the thing about the bad guys in Home Alone is they just won't die. Like you've seen the video where it's like showing the exact injuries.
Dead.
They've
dead.
died like 15 times
No.
each. So
The bricks to the head, like dead. Dead again.
yeah,
Dead a third time, and it's still the first scene.
exactly. So literally, like, oh my God, Home Stallone could be like a horror film, where like they die but they're not dead, and they have to go through all these horrible things without ever dying.
Oh my God, that's genius.
Immortality doesn't rob you of the pain. Oh no, stop! Stop, don't push me off those stairs.
I'm gonna push you off these stairs into acid.
Oh no. Oh my God, it burns. Home Stallone.
Oh my God, I don't just imagine the police showing up and they're like, "What the fuck happened?"
I'm not gonna lie as well. Home Stallone also sounds like a weird like pre-Rick and Morty Justin Roiland animation.
What was
So, Stallone, if you're watching this, go away. Justin Roiland, if you're watching this, we're writing. Ideas
just
start
imagine
here.
tonight on Rick and Morty's TV adventures or whatever it was. That could be honestly one
We
of
need
the
to get in
trailers
touch
for.
with him.
I'd like
On
say,
him?
like, get this as one of what's the name of those episodes again?
Interdimensional Cable.
Interdimensional Cable. Yeah,
We
that's
need to
the
get in touch with
Oh my
Justin
God.
Roiland. Just pitch Home Stallone.
So it's for one of the trailers in the Interdimensional Cable, just like as a trailer alone.
Oh man. You know the funny thing is, if they actually thought of it before us and we actually see it, not even gonna be mad.
No, I wouldn't be
I
surprised.
usually am mad about those kind of things, but like this time, not particularly. I kind of
it would be worth it. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's worth it.
that's worth it.
Oh God,
man.
that's too funny. Anyway, so
Other trailers. I mean, I guess Men in Black, kinda.
yeah,
That's coming out soon. I'm not hugely excited. I'm not.
No, I'm not excited.
I am gonna watch it though, because I think the first trailer put me off, and then the second trailer actually made me go.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah.
It's mostly because of Tess Thompson's character, because she seemed like the cocky kind of girl. Like,
Yeah.
you know, she walks
She
in and
seemed
she's
like
like, "It's my
Valkyrie.
right to be a Man in Black,"
Because
which
I
we're gonna
figured
change.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
But
yeah.
then when they showed the second trailer, it was like, "Oh, there's a personal stake here." Okay, fair enough. I'm interested now, because that is basically probably what I'd do if I were in her shoes. So yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah.
And it's Chris Hemsworth. Like, because
and so far,
anyone want to say that a film with Chris Hemsworth is not going to be
the
good?
only likable part about the 2016 Ghostbusters remake was him.
Exactly. Oh yeah, good point. He was in that film. Okay, except for that film, is there any film with Chris Hemsworth that isn't good?
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Besides those two, do you know what? I'm digging a grave here so
Because
deep
there's
I
a
can't
sequel
even...
to that I'm about to mention as well. Remember that
Oh
one?
yeah, The Huntsman: Winter's War.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see either because I'm not gonna watch a film with Kristen Stewart in it.
Weirdly enough, when I first saw that, I thought I liked the premise of like Disney princess films, but done in a much darker tone.
Well, yeah.
And then I saw the sequel, which was really good because Kristen Stewart just wasn't in them, so
Yeah.
it was already much better.
I mean,
But, yeah.
obviously like Disney films, but also not really Disney films because they are based on like
On fairy tale stories.
fairy tale stories, and fairy tale stories tend to be very gruesome and violent. Like
Very true.
like I don't even remember the worst one. Oh yeah, there was this thing apparently, like for instance Cinderella, like when the glass shoe, and apparently like the stepsisters really wanted to marry the prince, but their foot didn't fit obviously, so they cut off their own toes so the foot would fit, and it still didn't.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
Fat feet on these bitches. That means something, I'm sure.
Yeah. And then the one about Ariel, the whole thing about Ariel from The Little Mermaid is just depressing. And then there was one, I can't remember which, I think it might have been either Snow White story or Sleeping Beauty story where I think it might have been, I can't remember which one it was, where they had the witch put on iron shoes and walk across hot coals when she was punished. It was like, fuck.
That may have been Snow White.
I think it might have been Snow
But there was a story about Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah. She was basically raped when she was asleep. Yeah.
That ain't no kiss.
And what else? I'm trying to think of them all. Mulan was executed from what I could remember.
Yeah.
And
Pocahontas is like completely different.
yeah, Pocahontas is
like barely even similar.
Nah. And then there's what else? Oh, Aladdin.
Yeah, Aladdin would have gone very differently, I guess.
Yeah. I'm guessing he would have been found out and executed as well, and the genie would have been imprisoned. Something along those lines.
I mean, if a genie could be imprisoned, well, in the lamp, I guess.
Yeah.
Unless he kind of.
Unless that was one of your wishes, where it's basically like you will stay in this prison forever.
Yeah, unless he was wished free before then. Because then he's not confined. But then again, he doesn't have magical powers if he's free from the lamp. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, let's not dwell on that. That's a bit depressing.
No, this is a bit depressing.
All right, so
welcome to Disney, Down.
Welcome to Disney, where now everyone goes. Now everyone's.
You remember Down, right? That the best pitch we ever had.
Yes. What was the full premise of that? I can't even remember anymore.
I think it was about the traveler that he admired when he was a child, like how he got to that place with all the dogs, and they had way more dogs, but dog cannibalism.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Oh wow!
Some sick fuckwell is probably writing the whole script right now.
Yeah. And
for that we thank you.
And they already took it to Disney, and Disney was like, "No!
What are you thinking? We can't show this to kids."
And The Lion King.
What?
There's been I think another trailer for it, and
I don't particularly care, man. It's just the same film again. I mean, I'll probably end up watching it at some point. I probably
will as well, yeah.
But like, I just can't find myself to be excited for it. The cast is really good.
Yeah.
But are they really just gonna be saying the same lines that other people have said before?
Well, here's the weird thing, because it's Idris Elba playing Scar, isn't it?
Yes.
And he played
instead of Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, and he played the tiger from the Jungle Book.
I think so, yeah.
So he's playing two big cat villains in Disney live action remakes.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a theme here.
I mean, he's playing a lot of villains, if that's what you're getting at.
True.
He was also the villain in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, he's going to be the
villain.
villain.
Which is coming out pretty soon as well.
Talking about franchises that just won't die.
You know what? I actually did see Fate of the Furious pretty recently. I didn't hate it that much. It's actually, you gotta admit, for how bad the film is, it is still better than 7. Because 7 is by far probably one of the worst
Oh
ones.
yeah, absolutely.
Hey Dom, remember that shit in Dubai? It's my favorite line. Like literally, that line he says literally after the whole thing went down in Dubai. It's like, do you remember it? And it's like, yes, it happened 5 minutes ago. What do you think I have? Memory loss?
And what else?
Fucking moron, Brian. Rest in peace. Sorry.
But what else? I watched recently Bumblebee,
Oh yeah.
and it was actually really good. I was
That's
surprised
cool.
at how good it was. And I heard that they're basically going to reboot Transformers, but basically done with the same sort of people that did Bumblebee. I was like, if they do that and got rid of Michael
Yeah.
Bay, I honestly think that would save Transformers
cool.
from the shithole legacy it's building up for itself.
And obviously the regular cast,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, they keep the cast. Yeah. What was the name of the guy? Dylan O'Brien. That was the guy who played Bumblebee in that film, the voice, and he was really good in that actually. Really
That's
in
good.
that,
I
so.
still need to watch it. That'll be. I'm
Basically,
pretty excited for it.
It's basically like the Iron Giant, just with Bumblebee. Is my way of putting it.
Yeah, fair
So,
enough. Aren't they gonna remake the Iron Giant? at
they've
some
been
point?
planning about it for 10
But
years now.
they said they didn't want Vin Diesel to come back for some reason.
I think it's because, like, that's the thing. Like, my first thought, like, if I were to remake the Iron Giant, is I would get what's his name? Oh, I forgot. Fuck his name. Benedict Cumberbatch, because he's a great CGI actor. And I'd actually have him do motion capture for the Iron Giant.
That is true.
So I would actually spend a bit more money, or maybe a bit less, I don't know, and get someone of his acting caliber to do it instead, who's done Smaug, who's done Dormammu, and all those sorts of characters already. So
But Groot.
yeah, but I feel like I would just want to go.
I see where you go. I see what you're saying, and I do agree that Benedict Cumberbatch would do a good job.
Yeah.
And I see that they wouldn't get Vin Diesel again because it would be kind of weird to recast someone to be in the
Well, that's the
original and the reboot.
That's the thing. You can get away
Except
with.
if your name is James Earl Jones, in which case, yeah,
That's the thing.
obviously.
You can get away with that because he has such a unique voice, and he's playing a supporting character. He's not playing one of the two leads.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, if you just rebooted a film 10 years after the original with the exact same lead, it's kind of like, well, it's a remake? Yeah. Why? What the fuck is the point of that?
Just a different team.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wait, didn't they do that with like a David Tennant TV show? Or was it like Broadchurch was the original, and then they remade that into something else, an American version where he was literally just playing the same character.
I think you might be right. I don't remember.
God, what was it again? The name escaped me.
Yeah, same here.
I think it was Grace Point. Yes, it was Grace
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
Made by, get this, the same guy who did Broadchurch. So it's already pointless. Which is the same guy who's running Doctor Who right now. So not great.
Have they confirmed he'll be the next Doctor after?
Oh, she ain't gone yet.
I know, but she said she'd be leaving after this season, right?
Did she? Damn.
I thought we had this conversation before where it was like because of the writers leaving, she's not staying.
Oh, that might be entirely possible. Oh yeah, I remember. Yes, because the first season was poorly received.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was a pretty shit season.
Yeah.
Like, they went way too political with
Yeah.
everything. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, but isn't Doctor Who supposed to be like an educational show for children and teach us about historic events? And it's like, yes, but also, one of the episodes was literally just like making fun of Americans and saying that their answer for everything is guns and that they ruin the world.
Yeah.
So, know.
Like, that's the thing, is like, there's a difference between. Here's the major thing. It's like, there's a difference between sending out a political message and then just slander.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think, to be fair, a lot of these companies have gotten wrong. Because a lot of. Captain Marvel didn't slander the male gender, but it felt like it was hinting at it a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously you got Doctor Who that kind of does it. You obviously have now X-Men that does it. You've got a lot of films and television shows that slander as opposed to sending a message. Like, hey, Because that's the main difference between Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman shows that women can be equal, if not superior, sometimes. But it also teaches them, like, hey, men can be bad, but there are still good ones out there, and they're worth looking for. Like, that's the main difference between these two.
Yeah.
There's not much else, really. I think we covered most of it within the first one, because it was mainly DC and Marvel stuff happening, really.
Yeah, well, barely Marvel stuff, to be honest. It was mostly like yeah, I guess
Marvel
Dark
because
Phoenix.
of X-Men and Dark Phoenix, yeah.
I mean, we still got a little bit of time left before one of the cameras cut out.
So, what?
Screw it. Dark Phoenix. That clip. Let's talk about it real quick, because no one's going to watch at this point, so let's go.
So, Dark Phoenix, the clip is basically cutting it to the juicy part, which we're probably going to talk about, is...
Yeah. With some context, obviously.
Yeah, so Jean Grey and the X-Men come back from a mission where Jean Grey almost died. Professor Xavier's like, they've done a service, the president sends us thanks, and so on, and basically everyone's really happy, and then Mystique is like, look, you know, you can't just keep risking the kids' lives, which, to be fair, I was like, okay, she's making some valid points here. Okay, good.
She's making a point, but I feel like he was
making a better one.
He was making a better one, and I felt like, as arguments went, hers was this good, and then his was this good. Where it's like, yes, I know I'm putting them in danger.
And then all of a sudden it went to, hers was that good.
Yeah.
Which was the point where she said, you know, the women always have to save the men. It should be ex-women. It's like, what world do you live in? Do you not remember you were almost killed by Apocalypse until, you know, Quicksilver saved you?
Yeah.
Don't you remember that part?
And
don't you remember you were almost killed before, you know, Magneto stepped in and saved you?
Did that just not happen?
Didn't Magneto, in fact, do most of the heavy lifting and holding him off until Jean was ready to completely annihilate him?
Yeah.
Which he only did, like, in the final, like, second.
Also, isn't there, like, an almost equal amount of men to women in the X-Men team?
Yeah. It's 3 women and 4 guys. And we've got, what, there's 4 guys? Yeah, it's 1 extra.
Yeah.
1. And I'm pretty sure... And you guess you could say 5 because of Charles, but it's like, does he really count?
Yeah. Oh, what I loved as well is she was like, oh, when was the last time? I can't remember the last time you made the sacrifice. And it's like, it's kind of difficult to do that when you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah. God.
Because, you know, events transpired that was a pretty fucking heavy sacrifice in Apocalypse.
Not even just the events in Apocalypse. You could have had such a great moment where it's like, you know, I can't honestly remember the last time you made a sacrifice. You know, yeah, it's hard because, you know, I remember the time we were on a beach near Cuba.
Yep.
And Magneto paralyzed me from the waist down, then you ran off with him. Yeah, do you remember that at all? Because I have very good memories of it. Do you know? There, let me show you it in my mind.
Or just go like, you know, I can't remember the last time you made a sacrifice. Got knocked out, did you? Because I remember everything.
It's like, literally as Magneto, he could show her every single time he's made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
His mental ability.
In a lovely little montage.
It's like, with like really nice, sweet, like elevator music.
Raindrops falling on my head. Oh, my head! Get out of my head!
Oh, no. It's like, okay, you're right, Charles. You're right. Yes, don't you forget it. Now go make me a sandwich.
By the way, oh god.
You can do it as a woman or as a man. Actually, I'm not discriminating because you can change your form. Remember that.
Yeah. You know, the best thing of that scene would be like just before she would say that, like when she just said like women or something, Deadpool would pop his head in and just go like, "Hey guys, what you talking about?" Oh, this seems serious. I'm just gonna make myself a sandwich real quick.
Yeah.
By the way, if you see anything wrong with the soap, that's Colossus. See ya.
And walks out.
That would make that scene better, but unfortunately that didn't happen.
No.
And I know it would be better because that's a pretty bad scene in itself. So that's saying a lot.
Well, I was saying, it's a great scene in the sense that it's talking about how bad that scene is. It's like, okay, this scene is getting really too political now.
Yeah, but like...
Here's Deadpool!
Yeah. But like, I just love in that scene, like, the escalation that came out of nowhere. Where it's like...
Because...
I'm trying to think of like
I love the fact that her argument is we shouldn't fight for these people because they don't fight for us. It's like, yeah, but if we fight for them, then they probably will fight for us.
Oh, I remember. It's the same kind of escalation where like there was this Seinfeld episode where one of the characters was eating like a lot of shrimp,
Yeah.
and then someone at his workplace said, um, oh the ocean called, they're running out of shrimp, and like he was plagued by it for a while, and then he was like, oh, I should have come with the comeback, and then he's asking his friends obviously, so one of them says like, oh no, it needs to be something like really really clever or something, and then someone says, just say you had sex with his wife or something like that, and so at some point he thinks of the perfect comeback, um, and then he tries to find this guy, but he apparently moved to another department, so he goes over there with again like a big tub of shrimp, and then the whole conversation goes like, hey George, the ocean called, they're running out of shrimp. Oh yeah, well the jerk store called and they're running out of you, and then the guy goes, well, that's not that's not a big problem because you're their all-time bestseller or something like that. And he goes, oh yeah, well I had sex with your wife, and then someone informs him that his wife actually died a year ago. It's that kind of level of escalation where it's like, you are putting these kids in danger. I know, but it's all for the greater good of the mutants. Oh yeah, well why don't you give women the respect they deserve? And it's like, what? Where does that come from?
What?
Why would you even bring that up?
Yeah. No.
I want equal pay. We are not getting paid.
You're not getting paid. You're heroes. You're not meant to be paid.
You're getting a safe home. You get food. You get shelter. You get everything you need. You're not getting paid.
No, what would be the best part is like he's just heading around. He's heading around his desk. Like, I want to get paid equally, and then he turns around. I was like, yeah, well, I want to get paid. And then he turns back and just goes around the corner. Just imagine if that was his response. Like, I'm a teacher at a school where no one wants these kids.
I'm the head fucking master.
I'm the head fucking
This
master.
house is mine.
This is my.
I own this place, and I'm not getting paid for it in any way.
I pay your salary, okay?
You think the government is paying for this shit? Obviously not. We're mutants.
This is coming out of my trust fund, of which, by the way, if you looked at my bank account, it went from like $1 billion to like $10,000 now. What have you done? I don't know. I spent it on tuitions for these kids, on books, computers, a fucking jet for you guys.
Also, paying for electricity, water, and gas bills for like 150 people living in this place isn't the cheapest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Quicksilver, with all your arcade games and your computers and your lights on until 2 a.m. doing God knows what. It's just... And the saddest thing about that is I'd never considered the X-Men to have like a gender theme.
No.
I always considered to have them to have like a race theme, and in that sense they were really interesting. Where it's like, they're the subordinate race, and that's why I thought that conversation was very compelling. Where it was like, you're putting people of our race technically, in danger to help people of the people who see themselves as the superior race. Yeah. And he's going, yes, but only because they need to understand that we don't mean them any harm, and if we do something wrong or do something bad, they'll immediately turn against us. And I'm like, yes, there is some real life reflection in that. Yeah. In that sense, it's really good because it's very true, and I do feel like he has a good point in there. I'm not saying that that's how society should be.
Yeah,
I'm saying that's how society is. There's just a lot of races or ethnicities in the world that have to prove themselves.
Yeah, and I think actually also
about Muslims.
The sad part is in that scene, you can imagine that women are gonna eat that shit up.
Yeah,
that they're gonna love that, which is gonna. Okay, I can talk about that. It's just too interesting to think about. But the other part was I going to say? It was about Professor Xavier and the whole argument he's making. Oh, right, yeah. And then I love the fact that they do kind of have that weird call. It's not a callback, but it feels like a bit of a reference to the Killing Joke, where it's like all it takes is one bad day.
Yeah,
I love that. I thought like that makes a lot of sense. All it takes is literally one bad day for someone. Magneto is the perfect example of that. The day his daughter and wife died, that was a very bad day for him.
Oh, yeah.
And he went fucking nuts and killed pretty much everyone.
And I'm pretty sure that's kind of a foreshadowing as well to what's going to befall on Jean.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've changed my mind. I kind of do want to watch this film now.
I think that's the thing.
A little bit.
I think...
Just to see how it plays out.
I saw a review for it from... sorry, I guess... it's a YouTube review, so...
Yeah.
Take it how you will. From Jeremy, and he was upset for saying like I know I don't remember his last name, so sorry about that. But
Well,
anyway.
is this the CinemaSins guy?
No.
Okay.
The I'll find it in a sec. But it's and his basically review was X-Men: The Last Stand. Apparently a better film than that one.
Okay.
And this one, so I was like, and apparently he's saying it's the worst one yet. I was like, wow, that's
I do feel. Right.
Have you seen any of his videos before?
I don't think I have.
Okay.
I'll be honest. You mentioned before that you didn't really agree necessarily with everything he said in his Brightburn review, despite not having watched it, obviously. But like with his takeaways from like the character and everything of Superman. So, I'll take it with a grain of salt and go, okay, well that's his opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something more.
Yeah.
The thing is, I do kind of want to watch this film just to see the whole thing, but I kind of don't want to watch it just to kind of make a point of like I'm not gonna support like weird political messages.
Yeah.
That are barely even subliminal.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is I probably will see it, but it's one of those things where I always I see it because then I can form a proper opinion on it.
Yeah, I kind of
because I'm assuming it's bad. It could actually be good, and everyone's just blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah.
But I have no idea because I haven't seen it yet.
yeah. To be fair, it is also like it is kind of unjustified to like base your entire opinion of a film just on one scene that is taken kind of out of context. To be honest.
Yeah.
Like it does give me kind of the feeling where like you're watching a film, and then at some point it goes, "I really, really miss my mother. She died so young. Stop smoking." What?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Smoking is bad.
Anyway, we should probably
that should
wrap
do it for
up.
today.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for watching. If you did watch it, this is probably one of our more honest episodes about what's wrong in culture.
We
so-
try to do them we don't try to do them anymore because I think just people.
I mean, people aren't watching anyway, and this
Yeah.
is not gonna help.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's gonna. It could attract the wrong audience
Whoa,
more than anything.
publicity. There's bad publicity. That's bullshit. There is.
I mean, there's still the kind of publicity that makes us not really want to get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway.
thank you very much, and
Yep.
we'll see you next time.